Good, anytime.
Okay. Hi, Sue.
Hey, Barbara.
Thanks again for taking time out of your busy day to sit down with me.
My pleasure, always.
I got a few questions to ask today, but the most important one on my mind is, what does it actually take to get a loan approved in this market? Because it seems to be quite a challenge.
It is. That's somewhat of a loaded question. There is a lot to getting a file approved right now. And it has been for some years, for the last few years at least. As we all know, it used to be a lot easier. There was a time where, you know, we could take our loan application as a loan originator. We would take our loan application from the borrower and ask a few pertinent questions and pretty much get a mirror fogged, and voila, there's the loan. Yay, you're home free. It's unfortunately not the case anymore. The way that I always explain it to borrowers, and also, you know, the patience factor is a huge thing as well on the part of a borrower, to really have the patience to see the transaction through and not get so frustrated, as everybody tends to do, because there is a lot of stress involved. What I start by explaining is we've kind of gone back to underwriting 25 years ago, to that sort of generation in which you really have to prove that you deserve to get the loan and your mortgage financing, and you have to prove that in several different ways to the bank. And I start to explain this to a client as, if you picture a loan file as 4 legs of a chair with 4 different the biggest aspects to it are credit. Of course, your credit is vital, your credit history. The second leg could be collateral. That's the property, but that's also what the loan to value is. How much down payment are you putting down? Because these are all risk factors to a lender. What kind of, so to speak, skin do you have in the game? How much are you willing to put down for the property? That's collateral. There's stability, the borrower's stability, and that means how long have you been in your profession? How long have you been at your job, in your residence? You know, part of the community, things like that. Stability, character. In other words, and then also there's ability, and that's ability to repay the loan. So those are the 4 legs: credit, collateral, ability, and stability. We look at, underwriters and lenders look at these very critically now. So we have to make sure all of our T's are crossed and our I's are dotted, so to speak. And that's a big part of my pre-approval process with a borrower. We want to make sure that the legs of the chair stand on their own. And so a chair can stand on 4 legs. It can stand also on 3 legs. But we want to make sure, you know, that we are as strong as possible in the file. So if there's a little something that we need to fix on credit, we have the time to do that. That could push the scores up to another threshold that the lender would look at as being less risky, possibly. That would strengthen a leg. Also, you know, as far as the collateral, the same thing goes with the collateral. You know, maybe a person's credit isn't as strong as it could be, but maybe they're able to put a little bit more down. So that looks, you know, it strengthens the file in different ways. And we need to make sure that the file, there's no holes in the file whatsoever. That we've explained everything makes sense, and that everything's in order to get the loan approved. And from that point on, we submit the file to the lender and get the approval back as clean as possible. That's our goal, always, to not have any more questions arise. We hit any questions head on before the file is submitted. And that's what it takes to get a loan approved.
Thank you, Sue. I appreciate it.
No problem.